odd and it's an odd number.
Yeah, you're odd and it's an odd number, so you start.
Ha 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 ha.
Haha, you're odd.
Okay. Welcome to episode 17 of C3's Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River Kane.
And I'm Wren Graves.
And this is our podcast about all things witchy. This week we're going to be talking about crystals. Finally.
Yes.
We've been wanting to forever.
I love crystals. I could talk literally for hours
I'm afraid
about crystals.
This episode may run long.
It might be a long one,
or we
yes.
might have to split some and do some other episodes on crystals like we did with herbs. We'll have to see. But before we get to our topic, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a cold, icy root beer.
Oh, root beer.
I love root beer. I always drink my Pepsi because I have like my Pepsi Zeros that I usually like to drink. But if you try to give me a root beer, like any type of root beer, diet root beer, whatever, like it's mine. Like I will snatch it from you like quicker than you can blink.
Nice.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking my sparkling rosé wine.
Mm-hmm. Your huge.
My huge. Yeah.
And I also want to say there might be some noise in the background, like a drone type, because we are sitting outside. It is currently feels like 102. I think it's actually like 92, but it feels like 102. Why we chose to sit outside was probably questionable. But we have fans going, so if that's like the sound that you hear in the background, it's like a
yeah, and
noise.
I'm not turning them off. It's hot.
It's very hot.
But I really don't have a place in my house that's not intrusive on my husband who's trying to work. He works from home. So
Yeah.
I can't really do this inside. And I could have tried to set it up in the altar room, but there's no place for a computer and both of us to be.
Yeah, it's awkward.
So, yeah. So outside on my deck.
It's fine.
Yeah. Well, my husband just came outside and announced himself with a sneeze. I guess he's done working. Now he's going back inside. Okay. He might have wanted to listen. I don't know. Anyway, probably not. All right. So, and he's gone. Okay. Crystals. First, I thought I would go through some definitions. I found several. This one is from Oxford Dictionary.
Okay.
It says, it's a piece of homogeneous solid substance having a natural geometrically regular form with symmetrically arranged plane faces. Another definition is that many people might visualize beautiful mineral objects with smooth faces and regular geometric patterns. Mm-hmm. Others might imagine elegant glassware, crystal glassware. For gemologists, there's a scientific definition of a crystal, and it goes right to that atomic level. A crystal is a solid whose atoms are arranged in a highly ordered, repeating pattern. These patterns are called crystal systems. And if a mineral has its atoms arranged that way, then that mineral is a crystal.
I like that. I love the science, and you'll understand. I love the science part of crystals as well as like the spiritual part of crystals.
I mean, and the spiritual part of crystals
is
scientific.
And
yeah.
It's, I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I got that off of gemsociety.org,
mm-hmm.
and it goes into the atomic levels of all the different crystal forms. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check that out.
Okay.
Wren's going to post all our links like she always does.
Yeah, I will. And I just want to preface, probably my obsession with crystals started when I first decided to minor in geography. Because, I mean, I'm no longer minored in geography, cough, cough, let's not call me out there, but that didn't stop my love for it.
Yeah.
The professors did. Because let's
That's
not
fair.
get into it, but there are some bad professors out there.
I had a brief stint with a major in geology, but that didn't last long.
I enjoy geology, geography, and as my boring, I put 3 borings in there for a reason. Professor, when I took geography, he was very adamant on all of us becoming geomorphologists.
Oh, wow.
And it's a cool subject, and I might consider looking into making that like a hobby. But my golly, he was so boring.
Well, I mean, I love gems. I love geology. In particular, I really love volcanology. I'm super
Obsidian.
fascinated. Yes, super fascinated with volcanoes
Yes.
and obsidian and that kind of thing.
I love obsidian. I'm obsessed. I'm not talking about it today, but I'm obsessed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do episodes where we talk about other things.
Yeah.
To a witch, the magic lies with the ability to wield the crystals, and finding the right crystal for a particular use takes knowledge, familiarity, intuition, and practice.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
The last definition I have is that it is any naturally formed object capable of storing and transmitting vibrational energy. That is a less scientific definition and more witchy.
Yeah, but it's a strong definition.
Yeah.
Because that's how I view crystals.
Me too.
But with like more scientific into it.
Well-
And I mean, scientifically, like the vibrational energies, they're a part of the earth. That is like science in itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's not scientific and more witchy. I say it's like equal components of science
Yeah.
and witchy.
Because, I mean, the whole thing with crystals, those vibrations that the witches tap into are scientifically based.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the history of crystals. So I think it's fair to say that as long as we've existed as a species, we've had an affinity with stones and crystals and
Yes.
the earth.
Yes.
I mean, I think that just goes without saying. In the earliest ages, humans have relied on crystals to ensure conception, ease childbirth, guard personal safety and health, and even to protect the dead. There were beads carved out of mammoth ivory that have been excavated from a grave in Russia that date back 60,000 years.
Which is so freaking cool.
It is so cool.
If you think about it, all the rocks, I'm just going to say rocks or hard stone or crystals that you see, they have been here and recycled over and over and over again to make it what you see today.
Yeah.
It's
fascinating.
Amazing. Oh man, I'm a nerd for this stuff.
The oldest amulets that they found are made of Baltic amber, and some from as long as 30,000 years ago. And then amber beads were discovered in Britain from 10,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's so cool. So
Yeah.
the human species, even back then, found reasons to use crystals, whether they had them for, decoration or whether they thought that it would keep them safe. I don't know. Did you know that amulets, speaking of amulets, they were banned by the Christian church in 355 AD?
I didn't know that. Do you know why they were banned?
I think it's because they were trying to convert the pagans, and there was still this strong pagan
Stigma?
yeah, and so they felt like amulets were like being used magically, which is in opposition to what their thought of God is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they were trying to force people away from that kind of healing and that kind of thing to, oh, God will heal you type of mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to root out that paganism.
Huh, I didn't know that. But have you heard of and I've been recently doing a lot of research on this because it's become more mainstream in like social media and like witchy channels that I've been following.
Okay.
It's called I don't know if I'm pronouncing it 100% correctly. I will offer multiple pronunciations. Nazar or Nazir amulet.
I've never heard of that.
It's Arabic. And it's something I find very interesting. And it's an eye-shaped amulet that is believed to protect against the evil eye. So the wearer is protected by the amulet, meaning it protects its owner from evil. Mm-hmm. And it's made of a deep, rich blue color and glass.
That's interesting. What time frame, or do you know when that was used?
I don't know the time frame. I could look it up, but I just know that there's a bee on my paper. Oh my gosh.
And it's not a carpenter bee.
Wow. And I just know that it's Arabic and it stems from that area, but it's become more mainstream and people are buying bracelets and necklaces and rings to protect themselves and hanging them up in their homes.
I feel like there was a horror movie that had the evil eye amulet on it, and in that movie the watcher's assumption was that it was evil, and so everybody was like, oh, an evil person is trying to hurt me, they put this there. But what it actually was someone was trying to protect them from evil. I can't remember what the movie was, but I'm pretty sure it was the evil eye, so to speak, necklace, which would be an amulet.
It's really cool because I was reading a lot about it, and it's to help protect you from anything. And I watched, for example, I don't have the specific person. I just scroll through TikTok and I see these things, and I didn't save it because I didn't know I was going to be talking about it. And she was at work and she got a compliment on something on her body, like her outfit or her makeup or something. It was like a compliment. She had this Nazir, or however you say it, amulet on her wrist. She bought it as a bracelet and it broke because either whoever was complimenting her was envious of her or evil intents on while complimenting her. And supposedly if it breaks or something happens to it, you have to immediately replace it, or else something bad will happen to you. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting. And amulets, I've been looking into amulets a lot. It's an interesting topic.
It is. That's neat.
Yeah.
I wonder, what was the stone? You don't know what the stone?
It's glass.
Oh, it's glass.
But and I'm just going to go ahead and say this because I talk about lapis lazuli.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same type of rich blue color as lapis lazuli. And lapis lazuli is also used for protection. So the color is...
And it could have been back then lapis lazuli.
I didn't see anywhere.
Okay.
But I can't remember where lapis lazuli comes from right now. It's in my notes, but I'll talk about it later. Hold on.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, sorry. Excuse me. Okay, go.
The first historical references to the use of crystals come from ancient Sumerians. Okay. And they included crystals in magic formulas that have been uncovered by archaeologists. Mm-hmm. The ancient Egyptians used lapis lazuli, like you were saying, turquoise, carnelian, emerald, and clear quartz in their jewelry. They also carved grave amulets of those gems for the people that they were burying in the pyramids.
Yeah.
Chrysolite, which was translated into both topaz and peridot, was used to combat night terrors and purge evil spirits.
Oh.
The Egyptians carried amethysts into battle to grant them courage.
Okay, I have a question. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. So, with the night terrors, could you combine that with like a dream catcher, for example, and like have extra like strong like wielding of getting rid of nightmares?
I would think so.
And then
And if you drink those herbal teas we talked about,
yeah,
that would help as well.
wow, you could just stack up on like like get rid of like nightmares type thing. And then with the Egyptians, it makes sense. And I love the Egypts.
Yeah, you do.
I love the Egyptians.
You are.
But it makes sense because all of the Egyptians' art and every type of, I guess, tombs that they have those crystals in them, or art that we've seen from them have depicted like the bright green emeralds and stuff like that. So I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, green stones are a thing. I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Egyptians also used crystals cosmetically. They used galena, which is a lead ore, and they ground it to powder, and that's what they used as eyeshadow, that coal eyeshadow.
That's so cool.
And malachite was also used in the same way for makeup. And that's, we see those, even the pictographs that we see show the outlining of the eye with the coal or the malachite.
Yeah.
Green stones in general were used to signify the heart of the dead and were included in burials.
Okay.
And they were actually used in a similar way later in ancient Mexico too.
That's interesting because when I think of like an Egyptian tomb of like one of the pharaohs, I picture like green emeralds on the front. Like, or in pictures they have it depicted, or in statues that they have of their pharaohs, they have of that. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Green stones they signified the heart of that person.
That's pretty cool.
The ancient Greeks attributed a number of properties to crystals, and many of the names that we use today for our different crystals come from Greek origin.
Okay.
The word crystal comes from the Greek for ice because it was believed that clear quartz was water that had frozen so deeply that it would always remain solid.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
It's not scientifically correct.
No.
But that's pretty cool.
Did you know that amethyst means not drunken? And it was worn as an amulet to prevent both drunkenness and hangovers. Huh. I need me one of those not drunken amulets in my life. I want one.
But did they work?
I don't know. I mean, it was associated with it for a long time, I'm guessing so.
I mean, I would think not, though. Scientifically.
We got to try it and see. Let's try to get drunk and use amethyst to see. We'll do an experiment.
Yeah.
We'll do it as an episode.
oh, yeah. I don't think there would be much to the episode. Laughing for 20 minutes and then asleep for the rest.
I know, right? Hematite comes from the word for blood because of the red coloration it produces when it oxidizes. It's actually an iron ore, and so the ancient Greeks associated iron with Ares, the god of war, and because of that, they would rub hematite all over their bodies before battle, thinking that it would make themselves invulnerable. Isn't that interesting?
That is, and did it work?
I don't know.
I want to know.
And Greek sailors also wore a variety of amulets to keep them safe at sea, or maybe to protect them from that captain that threw all the divination chickens overboard.
Yes.
Actually, I think that was Roman, but anyway, same concept.
It all comes back to the chickens in the end.
I know. Crystals are actually mentioned throughout the Bible, the Quran, and a whole bunch of other religious texts. That's been around forever.
Yeah.
The Renaissance time in Europe, from the 11th century through the Renaissance, a number of medical treatises appeared to be extolling the virtues of precious and semi-precious stones in the treatment of certain ailments. So they were used medically.
That's
and
pretty cool.
Typically, they were used alongside herbal remedies. I watched that series, The Last Kingdom. I don't know if you watched that or not.
No.
And it's set right around the 11th, maybe 12th century. I can't remember what the exact time frame. But in that there was a warrior who was dying, and they put crystals and herbs and everything on top of the dying warrior to try to heal them.
Mm-hmm.
Very fascinating.
That is pretty cool.
And to think back, this is supposed to be the time of Christianity, and yet there were still pagan rituals used.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
all throughout.
If you think about it, us today have been through all the history, and yet we still have paganism. We still have
Christmas and
we
Easter
still have all of this stuff, and it's like no matter how hard they tried to get rid of it, to they killed people, they tried everything, but yet here we are.
Here we are, yeah.
We still have so many religions practiced, and that's
and I think part of it is because witchcraft doesn't have to even be a religion.
Yeah.
You don't have to be Wicca. You don't have to be a druid. The practice of witchcraft doesn't have to be a religion. So you can't
but not a lot of people
it.
understand that.
Yeah.
There are people who only understand what they believe is right, and then if you come up and you're like, "Oh, I'm a witch," they just think that that's a sin.
I know. But the reason I think it survived is because it's a real thing. Nature is a real thing, and you can't wipe it out.
Yeah.
Just because you want it to be gone.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot, even through all the persecution and everything that witches have dealt with, it's survived.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So the current uses of crystals, there are actually many people discovering the powers of crystals. And we talked about this before. Witchcraft is actually becoming more, I hate to say popular.
Well known. It's more practiced.
Yeah. But working with crystals, then, you transform lives by using these vibrations in the crystals.
Yeah.
Crystals, just like herbs, they, and colors and metals and numbers and sounds, they all have energetic powers.
Yeah.
Which we do need to do an episode on numerology at some point. I think you would really like that.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But crystals are also thought to promote the flow of good energy and help rid the body and mind of negative energy for physical and emotional benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Historically speaking, crystals are, how do you pronounce that word?
Touted.
I put that in there, and I was like, I'll figure it out when I get there.
It's a good word. I like that word.
Are touted as ancient forms of medicine with philosophies borrowed from Hinduism and Buddhism. And you know how I feel about Buddhism.
I do.
I feel very in touch with what they believed, and so I really like that for that.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think about these crystals and rocks and whatever. They may have sat quietly within the earth for millions and millions of years.
Yeah.
Or they might have gone through this tumultuous turmoil as the earth had earthquakes and, nature hurricanes that wore the dirt away, revealing them, bringing them to the surface where we find them today. That just fascinates me.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they're a powerful tool. They possess energies, and they do affect our world.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what it is about a crystal that affects us so much is the vibrations. And the vibrations are based upon that scientific atomic structure within them. I mean, basically every object on Earth has its own unique vibration, I think. And in the universe. I don't think it's just here on this planet. I think
it's everywhere.
Every planet and whatever has its own unique vibration.
Yeah.
Crystalline structures emit their own vibrations and also store, transmit, and resonate energy. And since the crystals act as a medium through which the energy travels, there's huge potential for their use.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about some in particular. You start.
Okay. I picked lapis lazuli.
Okay.
One, because it's my favorite thing to say.
Lapis lazuli.
It just rolls off the tongue.
La, 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 la.
And I don't have this in my notes, and I don't have it fact-checked, but I did see something on it, so you guys can let me know. I did try to search for some, but I got lazy. I saw, like, a link or a video saying that lapis lazuli is associated with Libras, and I am a Libra.
Me too.
So, no wonder why I like it.
That is so cool. I just think they're very pretty.
Oh, they're very beautiful.
Yeah.
So, lapis lazuli, or lapis for short, is a deep blue metamorphic rock used as a I always mess this word up. Semi-precious. Like, there's also...
Like an emerald is a precious stone.
It's like and I always mess up saying it. Cause
semi-precious, yeah.
I feel like Lord of the Rings, my precious. But I always mess it up. I always mess up by saying precious.
Oh, I love it.
That's not a word that rolls off my tongue like lapis lazuli.
Okay.
It's a semi-precious, I always mess it up, stone.
My precious.
Yeah. That has been prized since antiquity for its intense color. Mm-hmm. It's blue, like I've already said, but I mean it's blue.
It's beautiful.
Like blue.
Yeah.
And its luster is, I don't like this, it's greasy. That's how it was defined, as greasy, and I could see it. It looks wet.
Shiny. It does kind of.
And I guess greasy is a right term.
I mean, it is a gemologist term.
Yeah. But I just don't like it. And
yeah, it makes me think of the greasy baby fat.
Yeah, the greasy.
You put on your broom to fly.
And then it just gets everywhere you don't want it to be. Mm-mm. And it's glass-like. Mm-hmm. And it's made up of, and I'm going to get a little bit scientific, NaCa, and then 8, Al6, Si6O24, SO, and like SO4, like that cluster together.
Wow, it's been a really long time since I've looked at the periodic table. So Na is sodium.
Sodium, and then calcium.
Calcium is Ca.
And then
Al is aluminum.
And then you have Si. Si, I think, is silicon or silicone.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is oxygen. I know that one.
O is oxygen. S, I don't remember what it is. SO is some sort of, it depends. SO is like a sort of sulfate type. Because it's S with O, with oxygen, it makes sulfate.
Interesting.
I got a 99 in my class for chemistry like 5 years ago.
Wow, God bless you.
But I don't,
we got a B, y'all.
I don't remember much. But I did get a 99 in the class. So, in like the whole class, not just on a test. Like in the whole class, I got a 99.
Very nice.
I'm smart. What can I say?
You're not me so much. Okay.
The hardness of it is 5 to 5.5.
And that's on that scale.
Yes.
Which I can't remember. Doesn't it start with an E or something? I'll remember it. I'll think on it.
Okay, yeah, you think on it. So, lapis lazuli is one of the oldest opaque gemstones in history. It's more than 6,500 years old.
Okay.
I thought that was really cool.
That is.
The deep blue stone includes many tiny flecks of mica. Mm-hmm. And so that makes this stone referred to as a night sky full of stars.
I love that.
It's absolutely amazing.
I have never thought of lapis lazuli that way, but I will never look at it the same again.
Yeah, you will.
I love that.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It is found deep in the mountains of modern-day Afghanistan.
Okay.
And so this is straight from the website. I just couldn't find a way to paraphrase it. The way that they said it was perfect.
Okay.
So this stone's two-part name comes from two different cultures. Lapis is a Latin word meaning stone, while lazuli comes from the Persian word, and I cannot pronounce it, lazward,
All right.
meaning blue. It is not an element nor a mineral. It is a rock containing multiple minerals, lazurite, diopside, I know I did not say that right, calcite, pyrite, and more.
Huh.
Thankfully, there's the and more, so I don't have to try to pronounce anything
Anymore.
else. It is thought to be that when the Old Testament refers to sapphire, it is actually lapis lazuli.
Really?
Yes, I thought that was really cool.
That's fascinating.
It was beloved by ancient Egyptians, Babylonians, Minoans, thank you, Chinese, Greek, and up to the Romans. This deep blue stone has been used in the finest of art through all ages. All ages. It was also known to be ground up in the Middle Ages to create a rich blue paint.
That is so cool, which of course you would know, knowing all you do about art.
I love art.
She's artsy.
Yes, I am. I've actually contemplated in minoring in art history because I love it so much.
Interesting.
But I need to graduate, so I'm not going to do that. Now, into the metaphysical properties. So, Sumerians believed that the spirit of their gods lived within the stone, while the ancient Egyptians saw it as a symbol of the night sky. So, since the earliest of times, lapis lazuli has been associated with strength, and courage, as well as royalty, wisdom, intellect, and truth.
You know, I always connotate blue with truth and wisdom. You know, in Harry Potter, the what's the house that's blue? Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
The smart people.
Well, to put it so bluntly.
Well, I'm Gryffindor, which is the ones that go running straight into danger without thinking about it, while the Ravenclaws are going, well, there goes another one.
So from antiquity, lapis lazuli has been worn in belief that it will ward off evil.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it connects to the Nazar amulet.
Yeah.
And this was, so I don't know what time period, like, I'm not good at geology. Like, geography, down pat, like, with stones and everything. Geology, like, whatever that is. Obviously, I don't understand it. Maps, okay? Locations.
Maps is geography.
No.
Yes, geology is the stone.
No.
Yeah.
No, because I literally minored
I
in
majored
geography.
in geology, which is the study of stone. Geography is maps.
Then maybe I minored in geology
It
and I'm
must
just
have
getting them
been.
confused.
Must have been.
Oh, wow. Okay. That says a lot about me.
So we're learning a lot about Wren's
Life choices.
educational history here.
I get the words confused. Geography.
I mean, and they both have to do with the land, but geography is the maps and the topography, whereas geology is the actual rocks and stone and, you know, the volcanoes and all
I did
that stuff.
both.
So I think you probably, it was geology.
Mean geography as in I don't understand geography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then correct me in the beginning, okay?
Okay.
So I don't understand or know, like, because it's current day Afghanistan, but I don't know what that was in this time.
Yeah, I don't know
because
the historical maps either.
the amulet is Arabic, but I have no idea how that plays into in the past, and this lapis lazuli might be older than the amulet or maybe around the same age. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't know.
So, in ancient Egypt, it was powdered and worn what?
Powdered.
Powdered, thank you.
But powered at the same time.
Yeah, and worn about the eyes to improve eyesight. Today, it is considered by some to be an aid to balancing the brow chakra, which influences vision and hearing, and imbalances of the brow or blue chakra, which are said to cause headaches, anxiety, and disorders of the skin, like problems with the skin.
I think that there are crystals that are good for each individual chakra.
Yeah.
And because of their vibrations, they are in tune with that particular chakra.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that this one would be with the the brow chakra. Is that the third eye, or is that... We did a thing on chakras.
Yes, we did.
The
so
crown,
we should know, but I'm
the
blanking.
brow, and then the throat. So it must be the third eye one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And now into the science.
Okay.
So, mineral information. Sulfur containing sodium, aluminum, and silicate. Silicate.
Oh, I bet silicate was the SI.
Yeah. Silicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell it's been a while.
Oh, for me too. Yeah.
So, the chemical composition I've already said. And then the color is the deep blue. And the hardness, this one differs from my first resource. The first website.
Well, it was close. You said 5.5.
Yeah, well, it was 5 to 5.5, but this one says 5 to 6, MOHS.
Yes, that's the scale.
Yes.
The Mohs scale.
Yes.
Yes.
And then refraction index is approximately 1.5.
Which I know I studied that. I don't remember what that means.
It's science.
And I'm not a scientist, so okay.
And then, so the proper care. So lapis is sensitive to pressure, heat, and with its calcite content,
that makes sense.
household cleaners, household cleaners harm it, and so abrasives.
Yeah,
so you have to be very gentle. You shouldn't scrub it really hard.
Don't clean it with Clorox.
No.
Borax.
No, maybe just a little bit of Dawn soap because it's gentle, but or just run it underwater.
Water. Yeah, because that's, to me, and we'll probably do an episode on how to cleanse all your crystals.
Yes.
But to me, that's one of the best ways to cleanse things is under running water.
It's just water.
Yeah, and I actually like to use water, natural running water, like from a river.
Yeah.
Because that's my name. But if you can't, then I think running water in your faucet is fine.
Yeah.
The whole point of it's moving, it's cleansing as it moves. So
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I chose the amethyst because of its protection against hangovers and getting drunk.
Well, how did I not I'm surprised because I didn't see this coming. But I'm surprised. I think I'm more surprised that I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you chose it. I'm surprised that I didn't see it coming.
So, this stone brings soothing energy, it relieves stress, and it brings gentle healing to the bearer. It can promote peaceful sleep. It is said to open your mind's eye and enhance spiritual awareness. It connects the physical plane where we are to the higher realms and raises the energy of your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, which is that, I guess, the same one that
the brow,
lapis lazuli does.
Brow chakra.
Supposedly, the Greeks actually drank their wine and alcohol from cups that were made from amethyst to protect them from getting drunk. I need one of those cups.
But is it safe?
I don't know.
Because there's a lot of crystals have a hard time in certain chemicals, and water is one of those chemicals where there are some where it's hard to allow them to get wet, otherwise they break down or what. And if they break down in liquid and you drink it, is it harmful to you?
I will test it.
No. No.
See, Gryffindor, and I think she's probably Ravenclaw.
I'm Slytherin. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
I am Slytherin.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, my Lord. Oh, that's funny. Amethyst is in the quartz family. It has that purplish hue that we all associate with it. Mm-hmm. The intensity of its color actually determines how valuable it is. The deeper and richer purple color is the more rare it is and the more valuable it is.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Did you know Saint Valentine, who we celebrate for Valentine's Day, wore an amethyst ring with a carving of Cupid in it?
I didn't know that, but that's cool.
Interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that Valentine would be associated with rose quartz.
You would think, because that is the love crystal.
Yeah. And I did contemplate talking about rose quartz today.
When we do rose quartz, it would be fun to have some love spells to tell our people
Oh,
about.
that would be so much fun. I have no idea how many pieces of rose quartz I have in
I've
my
got
house.
a lot of rose quartz
It's
too.
everywhere.
So, amethyst is believed to inspire courage, calm, and contemplation. Leonardo da Vinci wrote that the amethyst quickens intelligence and gets rid of evil thoughts. Isn't that neat? And he was the ultimate scientist back then. I have a folklore story.
Okay. I like your stories. Go.
According to an ancient Greek, mythology, whether it was true or not, we don't know. Dionysus, who is the god of alcohol, he's the god of wine.
I thought we've talked about Dionysus before.
Maybe so. So
Okay.
this is another one.
Okay.
He was angry one day against humans and decided that he was going to extract his revenge on the next mortal that came by. So he created several tigers and informed them of their mission, and he went about his way.
Okay.
So as it happens, it was a lovely young girl named Amethyst who was the next one to come by, and she was on her way to pay homage to Artemis, and she was attacked by one of these tigers. Artemis quickly changed the girl into a statue of solid quartz. When Dionysus returned to see what he had wrought, he was overcome with remorse, and he wept tears of purple wine, because he is the god of wine, and they flowed all over the statue, staining it permanently.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
I love that.
It is in the quartz family, so
Yeah.
I think that's very cool. I love that story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Dionysus is one of my favorite gods, being the god of wine,
Of course.
Amethyst is associated with celibacy, piety, sobriety, which makes sense. It's the not getting drunk one. Luck, marital fidelity, and protection from baneful spells, and prevention of homesickness. And y'all, a motorcycle just drove by. You probably heard that.
They always do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Some clergy still to this day in modern times wear rings of amethyst to symbolize their celibacy. But I am more about the non-drunk part of it than the celibacy part. I'm not a big fan of celibacy. That doesn't work for me.
I think it's a personal choice.
Well, my husband would have a problem with that.
Personal choice, Liz, like I said.
See, you are much more politic than I am. I am much more move on and forge ahead, say whatever needs to be said, and then she's mopping up after me going, okay, what she really meant was.
It's a personal choice, y'all. If you guys are celibate, that's good for y'all.
that whatever floats your boat, man, but it ain't for me. Amethyst is an excellent focal point for meditation or to use as a scrying tool. It can be used for mysteries and meditations regarding any spiritual matter, especially death and rebirth. When you warn or if you place it over a patient, it can help cleanse, purify, and heal the mind, body, and spirit. It helps to balance emotions and prevents nightmares and irrational fears. So I need to wear one when I go into elevators because I am terrified of small spaces.
I've been stuck in an elevator before.
Oh, Lord, so have I.
You just said that so panicked.
It was awful. I am so afraid of enclosed spaces, which I didn't know until I hurt myself and had to have an MRI. And they put me in it, and oh, that was awful. Yeah, we don't want to go through that again.
No.
Amethyst is often used to tip wands that are used for healing. And amethyst spheres, wow, try saying that 10 times fast, are excellent for scrying.
Okay, I like that idea.
To cleanse your amethyst, you can cleanse it with salt water. I think you can actually put it in a charging dish out under the moon in Himalayan salt, which you know me, I love my Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
Or just running water has worked for me. To me, that is the best way to cleanse certain ones. Like you said, some of these crystals don't need to be put in water.
Yeah.
So think that through.
Yeah.
Or you can charge it in the moonlight. You do want to avoid leaving it out in the sunlight because that can fade its purple color. I have to tell you guys, I bought a new crystal oracle deck, and I did it because I knew we were going to be doing an episode on crystals, and I've been wanting an oracle deck. I've got tarot decks, but I've never had an oracle deck before, so I actually bought two. And I got this one that's a crystal oracle deck, and I did my interview spread, and I just bonded with it. There was a really good connection there. And so then I did my first reading with it, and it was spot on. This deck knows me. It absolutely knows me. It is the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. I highly recommend it. And it says, if you get the amethyst card in your draw, that it can mean unconscious habits or old patterns in need of being released.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Any of the decks that I've bonded with, so I have an Oracle deck and I have a Tarot deck.
Oh, what's your Oracle deck?
It's a Moon Oracle deck. It's very beautiful.
Oh, I want one.
And my Tarot deck is passive aggressive. I roll my eyes. It's passive aggressive.
It's sassy, y'all.
It's very sassy. It's like, and it got really hurt. Like, it got butt hurt when I got my Oracle deck. It was like, oh.
You want something else.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
What about me?
Yeah, it was literally like, what about me? I'll be the sassiest thing you've ever touched, okay? So, my Oracle deck is very lovely. She's sweet. I'm going to say that. She's very sweet. And then my Tarot deck is...
not having it.
Spicy. I like to use spicy for a lot of things, and that is definitely what my Tarot deck is, since we were talking about that.
Definitely.
So...
yes.
I'm going to talk about Sunstone.
Oh, I don't even know anything about sunstones.
So the fun part is, I know you're going to talk what you're talking about next. It's related.
I think so, because I can see your notes.
Yes, because you can see my notes. Okay, if you didn't see my notes, they're related.
I would never have known that, though. I mean, I don't even know what a sunstone is.
So a sunstone is a variety of feldspar.
And that's how it's related to the one I'm going to talk to.
What you're going to talk about.
Mine's a variety of feldspar as well.
So the sunstone is associated with the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra.
See, I think that the chakras, the vibrations of these crystals definitely are in tune.
They're
with
very in
different chakras.
tune.
Yeah.
And then it goes well with, and am I wrong? Is it Leo season?
Oh, Lord, I have no idea. I did buy a book, and I am studying it right now to learn about all this astrology stuff. So we will be doing episodes.
I think that it is the season of Leos. You guys can literally correct me if I'm wrong, but this goes well with Leos and Libras.
Okay.
And I'm not partial to Libras because I'm a Libra myself, and every other Libra that I have ever met have been quite lovely. Like
I was about to say, what is she going to say? Because I'm a Libra too. Does she not love me?
I haven't met a bad Libra.
I
love Libras.
Me too.
Libras are so awesome.
I
and I'm
agree.
not just saying that because I am one.
They are peacemakers, so it makes sense that you would not have had a bad experience with a Libra.
I love Libras. And so it is also associated with fire and air, the elements. And if I'm wrong...
Which air is Libra.
Air is Libra and is Leo fire.
I have no idea.
Let me know. I did not look that up. I probably should have.
Yeah.
Sunstone is linked to luck and good fortune.
Okay.
It clears and energizes all chakras.
Oh, I love that.
So it's associated with the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra, but it clears and energizes all of your chakras.
Oh, I'm going to have to get some sunstone. That sounds great.
It's also very lovely. I think I talk about the color later on, but I'll just go ahead and say it's like a peachy color.
Really, I would have expected it to be golden of some kind.
It comes in many colors.
Okay.
But its most well-known color is like a peachy, orangey color.
Okay.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Sunstone instills good nature, heightens intuition, and allows the real self to shine through. I picked this one because this stone, it helps you bring out your confidence.
Yeah, it's like a happy stone.
Yeah, it radiates confidence, and I need some of that. So I actually don't have sunstone.
Really?
I have most of the stones.
Yeah, you've got a lot more
I have a
crystals than
lot.
I do. Yeah.
I have a lot, and I need more.
We all need more.
If any companies sell crystals and want to send us a package, just let us know. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but
not
I'm
really,
kidding.
Yeah.
It dissipates fearfulness, alleviates stress, and increases vitality. It encourages independence and originality.
I probably don't need any more of those. I'm pretty independent and original.
You are very original.
But I do like the dissipating fearfulness, although I'm not afraid of much.
I'm afraid of a lot.
But I do need stress alleviated. My job is very stressful. Mm-hmm. And I do need vitality. So, yeah. Sunstones. We're going to have to go. Let's go on another trip together and go to a crystal shop and buy some crystals.
I think we really need to do that.
I think so.
I have some crystals in mind that I want to buy.
Okay.
So, it's especially helpful to those who have difficulty saying no to others.
Oh, I do.
I have that difficulty too. I don't want to let anybody down.
Same.
And it hurts me to hurt other people.
Same.
Even if
That's
it is.
a Libra thing.
Yes, it is. And I don't know. I've been doing better at saying no and saying like being more individual. But I need me some sunstone.
Me too. I can't wait to go find some.
I know. Sunstone also helps with self-empowerment and independence. It acts as an antidepressant, and I also need, because I do struggle with depression and my fair amount of mental illnesses.
Yeah.
And as do other people.
I don't have depression issues, but I do have anxiety issues.
I have anxiety
sometimes
issues.
stem from the same thing. Sometimes.
Yes.
Depending on your mental health.
Yes. Yeah. So it helps with that. And I think a lot of people struggle with depression and
anxiety.
Other mental illnesses. And I think that crystals are amazing for that.
I think so too. I can't recommend them enough, honestly.
I know. Sunstone also increases self-worth and confidence, like I was talking about. It encourages optimism and enthusiasm.
Well, I have both of those really well too. So
it stimulates self-healing powers. And then the sunstone treats chronic sore throats, reduces stomach tension, and relieves ulcers, which I can say I do need that. I have a lot of stomach issues. And it started when, God bless.
When you met me?
No. Bless my my in-laws, because they are of a different culture. Mm-hmm. And they eat foods that are different than what I would eat. And I am very, very allergic to eggplant.
Oh.
As is my mother. And I did not know that until I ate something really bad. And it burned the entire inner lining of my stomach away.
Oh my goodness.
And I have not been able to eat properly since without having terrible stomach problems.
Interesting.
Yes. So I could also use it for my stomach problems.
Yeah.
It treats cartilage and spinal problems. And I do have the chemical composition of it.
Of course you do.
But it is quite long.
Okay.
So I'll just give you the overall skew of it. So most of it is aluminum, silicate, oxygen, potassium.
Is K potassium?
Yes, K is potassium, sodium,
and sodium, calcium, aluminum.
And calcium, yeah.
Okay.
So that's just that. I could say it's NaCa, Al 1 to 2, Si 3 to 2, O 8, Kal Si 308.
My goodness.
And looking at it, I love it. I love it so much.
I like it when scientists draw out the chemical composition of something on the paper. To me, that's almost art.
It is art. I've been contemplating getting a tattoo of something like that.
Oh, how cool.
I love science so much, and chemistry is one of the things that I've always wanted to pursue as a passion, but I never really did because I found my love for arts and what I am majoring in. And so that was always another option, as well as like astronomy. You guys know I'm a astronomy freak.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm also a chemistry nerd.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So the luster is, I don't know how to pronounce it right, vitreous.
That's right.
Which is kind of like glass-like. Mm-hmm. And then it is translucent / transparent. So, like I said, there are many colors to it. Mm-hmm. So it's very see-through in some colors and not in some others.
Okay.
Sunstone was not popular until recently, and previously the best known locality being, I don't know how to say this, it's in South Norway.
Okay.
Near Arendal in South Norway, where masses of the sunstone occur embedded in a vein of quartz running through the gneiss.
Interesting.
If I said that right, yes.
I think so.
The
I think
gneiss.
you did. Well, it's kind of cool that you did sunstone because I did moonstone.
Yes.
That is so cool.
I'm so excited.
Sometimes we are mentally on par with each other. So moonstone, the ancient Romans thought the moonstone was actually created by solidified moon rays, which I think is so cool. It does bring the powers of the moon to the bearer, the intuition, emotional balancing, illumination of dangers to come. Mm-hmm. It's also a type of feldspar, which I had no idea anything about sunstone.
Yep.
It comes in a lot of colors, like apparently the sunstone does, but pale blue or gray are the more valued colors. Mm-hmm. But it can also be pink, brown, or yellow. It can be worn to attract true love and arouse passion. So if you give your lover a moonstone necklace under the light of the full moon, there will always be passion between you.
Okay.
It is also supposed to be useful to help settle disagreements between lovers and return the relationship to a peaceful status.
That's interesting because you have to be at that specific time and specific moment of like the full moon, and then you have to have this crystal in a necklace form or whatever.
I mean, maybe buy it and wait for the right time.
I guess, but there are also other ways to bond yourself with your partner. And my favorite one that I like to read about, and like that's like a joke on TikTok. It's a joke.
Yeah.
But it's not really a joke.
What is it?
And it's blood bonding. Like, you know, when you have intimate relations with your partner, and if you have a period with your partner, you can blood bond yourself, like your
I have
others
never heard
with each
that.
other. Mm-hmm. Under the full moon.
We've had a recommendation to do a sex magic show. We'll have to consider that. I don't know.
Perhaps.
It's a little out there, but
I'm
maybe.
a little wary of the topic. But
I mean, it can be offensive, and you know, we might have listeners that would be like, I don't want to hear that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I want to be able to make everybody comfortable.
Me too.
But there are multiple ways to bond yourself to your partner, and that is one of the ones that are all over TikTok trending as like being a way to bond yourself. It's kind of like a joke, but it's also not a joke because that's also
it's a real thing. Blood magic is a real thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Moonstone is protective of travelers, so it is a traveler's crystal, particularly at night and or by sea. It is considered lucky. Moonstone cleanses and strengthens the aura, helping the wearer feel more energetic and positive. I definitely need to get some moonstone. It cleanses the lymphatic system and strengthens the immune system and helps fight signs of aging, giving the wearer a youthful glow.
Oh, I need to give me some moonstone. I don't have moonstone either.
I don't either. Moonstone is said to help stabilize emotions, prevent mood swings, hormonal imbalances, as well as relieve PMS symptoms, which probably goes a long way to keeping you and your lover from having disagreements. I know that during that time of the month, I snap at the littlest things.
Yeah.
So if that helps that, more power to it. It is helpful for women of all ages and all stages of lives. It can be worn to reduce pregnancy discomfort and problems associated with menopause, and is said to enhance female intuition.
Oh.
It is a soft stone. It is a 6 on that Mohs scale that you were talking about. So you've got to be really careful handling it. It can be easily scratched, easily crushed.
Yeah.
It should be stored separately from other jewelry in its own little bag or lined box, because it could get ruined by other jewelry. It shouldn't be worn while you're performing strenuous tasks that could result in it getting bumped or scratched. You clean it with plain water or a soft cloth. You charge it in the moonlight of a waxing moon.
Oh.
And you keep it out of direct sunlight.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It is associated with the moon, feminine intuition, the heart, and fertility. It has associations with rejuvenation, fresh starts, and new beginnings. It is connected to the element of water, the direction west, the zodiac signs of Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And it is also connected to the tarot card of the moon.
Okay.
Did you know that many believe that you could see the future if you hold the moonstone in your mouth during a full moon?
In your mouth?
Yeah, that seems a little uncomfortable to me, unless there's wine in there too. Of course, then I might swallow it.
Oh man, y'all can't hear my facial expressions. I always forget. My eyes went really wide.
They did. Yeah, I don't know how that worked. Did you put it in your mouth for a minute? Did you do a scrying into water? You know, how do you...
You know what's funny? I know it doesn't look like this because I haven't seen an image of Moonstone. But
it's really pretty. It's kind of a... I don't know how to describe it.
The one I'm thinking of, have you seen Vampire Diaries? Well, there's a moonstone in it. It's like some sort of magical property pertaining to the creation of like the vampires and the werewolves, where they're bound to the day and the night.
Oh, interesting.
And that's what I think that it looks like, because it's like this soft, round moonstone that's in the show, is what I'm thinking with the moonstone that you're talking about looks like.
I bet it is. I'm sure they did their research. That show is pretty good at coming forward with the folklore and things that are out there.
So I'm thinking, but is the moonstone that you researched rough or soft? Like... It's like
soft.
Texture.
Well, I don't know.
Smooth, I mean.
That I don't know. I mean, the pictures of the jewelry I've seen is smooth, but I don't know what the actual stone it is before it gets put into a jewelry setting. I don't know.
Okay.
But one of the most common uses for the moonstone is love magic.
Okay.
Which is very cool.
So what if you not bond it, but what if you do a spell with both moonstone and rose quartz?
That
would be like extra
really
love.
Powerful, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Or they could work against each other. I mean, it depends on the vibe and your intent. You got to be really careful.
Yeah.
In the Hindu culture, the moonstone is considered, or at least it was considered, a very sacred stone. And during the earliest traditions, it was said to have been embodied in the forehead of Ganesh, which is their four-handed god of the moon, since the beginning of time. So the moonstone was in Ganesh's forehead. And it also, you can't put it out for view for sale unless you place it on a yellow cloth, which is also a sacred color.
Oh.
In the Hindu culture.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I think we've gone, I don't know if it's been quite an hour, but I think we're closing in on it. So we'll probably stop here and pick up crystals another time and talk about more of them. Because, we can talk about how to cleanse them and how to actually use them in spells. What spells have worked for us individually, which may or may not work for someone else.
Yeah.
I think spells are very individualistic as well.
Or just more crystals in general.
And that too. I was so excited to hear about the sunstone. I didn't know anything about it.
I really want to talk about obsidian, because obsidian's one of my favorite.
I love
Tiger's
obsidian.
Eye. Oh man, there's so many. I don't know. I have so many as well.
Me too. And if you all want us to talk about a specific crystal or spells that go with a specific crystal, let us know and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So, you guys can find us on social media at C3 Witchy Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. They're I guess, what have we been doing? We've been doing really well with all of our social medias, right?
Yes. I'm running a little bit behind on TikTok videos.
Mm-hmm. Instagram, we've been okay.
Instagram, we're on top of.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, I think we're behind on Twitter as well.
Twitter isn't our main platform. Instagram seems to be our main platform.
Facebook too is up.
And yes. So go follow us on all social medias. And then our website is C3 Witchy Podcast, www.c3witchypodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
There you'll find all the links to our social medias, as well as links to our merch and our Patreon. And we actually have a patron. And I know I know I messed up the name, because obviously, River and I do not communicate. So River had talked to our Patreon. Yes,
I knew about it.
River had talked to our Patreon or patron. How do you say it? Patron? Thank you. Had talked to our patron and asked her for her pronunciation of name, where I butchered it last week in trying to shout her out, and I apologize. We don't communicate.
Yes.
So
well, you were on vacation, and I've been doing stuff.
It has been a busy week.
This whole year has been busy.
It's been very busy.
Thank you to Nika very much for supporting us. We actually just put up a new to-do list, a witchy to-do list. Mm-hmm. We just put up, it's something that Dragoncraft Creations sells, but because we use them for our merch, they gave us a free to-do list to put up just for our patrons.
Yes.
So it's up there. I mean, normally I think you would have to pay $3.95 for it, but it is for free for our patrons, and it's up there. So Nika, go check that out. It's got skulls on it. It looks really cool.
It's pretty cool. River and I have very different styles. Mm-hmm. Very different styles. And you can tell who posts what on where.
Definitely.
And so I love this. Little checklists.
You like the to-do list too?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the company tries really hard to satisfy us both, which is difficult because our tastes are very different.
Yes.
And honestly, she the vendor, is very happy to go both ways. I mean, I think she likes having our business, honestly.
Yeah.
But thank you to Dragoncraft Creations for doing that. And thank you for offering something that's free for our patrons, which is wonderful.
It's absolutely amazing. And I hope that we will broaden our patrons so that we can absolutely share more, maybe more exclusive content.
Yes.
And we do have the free tote bag is still underway. It's still being, we've designed it. We're so excited. So everyone who subscribes to our Patreon will get a free tote bag.
Which I think we're trying to figure out the best way to get that to our patrons, and we might have to do it through Dragoncraft Creations. I'm not sure. We'll find out, and we'll let you know, because we are one patron already. Should have one.
So exciting.
Yes.
So, yes, you can find all the links to where to listen on our website. And I think that's it.
I think so.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.